I'll call the meeting in order. If everyone would, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll do the roll call. Clint is absent. Randy is absent. Angie, you're here?
Here.
Chris, you're here? Here. I'm here. So we have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is consideration of claims number 24-832 through 24-874. These are the claims that would have been presented and considered at our February 15th meeting that did not occur. So is there a motion regarding claims number 24-832 through 24-874?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
It has been moved and seconded, so it's open for discussion. Are there any questions or comments or concerns regarding any of those claims? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving those claims, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is consideration of claims number 24-875 to 24-888. And Yvonne did point out that there were a couple that were not sent to us electronically. We have those in front of us, so had the opportunity to review those. Is there a motion regarding claims number 24-823 through 24-828?
I'll make a motion to approve those.
I second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, so it's open for discussion. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns regarding any of those claims? All those in favor of approving the claims as presented, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'm going to skip, well, no, I won't. Is there anyone that would like to address the council at this time with a limit of 3 minutes, and it's only regarding anything on the agenda? State your name and your address.
Dale, South 600 West.
I'm sorry, Dale who?
Dale.
State your full name.
Dale.
Okay, we'll move on. Is there anyone else that would like to address the council? Sir?
Are you
Sir,
refusing to let me talk?
Yes, I am. If you will not identify yourself, yes, I am. If you want to identify yourself, then certainly go right ahead.
This is
If not, if you want to
citizen-
play games again tonight,
This is
then
citizen Dale Wagner, and he
then he can
has
say
a
his
statement to
name. I'm
make.
glad you can say his name for him.
I think we all know who he is.
Regardless, it has to be on
The meeting's being recorded, so it has to be on the record.
So if you want to address the council, do it properly, or you will not address the council.
Okay, I'm Mr. Wagner,
Thank you. Your address?
South 600 West.
No, we need an address, sir. This is being recorded.
Okay, 3846 South Redbird Trail, on the back.
Thank you.
So at the February 1st meeting, this goes to the minutes, I brought up about the appropriations resolution. And in that resolution, it looks to be in violation of the state code, which you all gave carte blanche to go and make the appropriations. But the state
I'm sorry.
code
What is this regarding?
is regarding the minutes, the February 1st minutes.
Okay.
And it's also an email that I sent you, I sent the town council. So when I brought that up, I was talking about the appropriations that you all allowed the clerk treasurer to make those appropriation changes by the end of 2022. And when I went back and looked at the code that you all cited, that code says that you all have to approve those transfers, not that you give her carte blanche permission to make those transfers. It says you have to specifically approve those transfers. it would help the people to know what some of these acronyms mean, especially when they're new and they haven't been used. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Next item on our agenda is consideration of the minutes from the February 1st meeting. Is there a motion regarding the minutes? I'll move that we approve the minutes from the February 1st meeting as presented.
Second that.
Now it's open for discussion. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns or discussion regarding those minutes? All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is Elton Paul Restaurant, request for a letter of no objection. So is there anybody that would like to present that item? No one's here for that? Okay, then we won't take any action on that. Next item on our agenda is the technical committee for the NPO. Who will be presenting that?
I must have a long agenda.
Well, I think it was for me to go first.
Oh, yeah. They have two committees. One's a technical committee, which I sit on, primarily made up of city planners, engineers, and then they have a policy committee, and the policy committee votes on recommendations from the tech committee, and Angie was on that committee. Jim is going to serve on that now, and that committee is primarily made up of elected officials and town managers. So I think a letter has already been sent to Andrew with the NPO.
Okay, thank you. Next item on our agenda are department reports. Chief Ely.
Council, in front of you, you'll see something. This is Waymeyer Fleet. This is the company that does the upfitting for our police squad cars, lights, sirens, emergency equipment. Our vehicles plan on being built. The one we've approved for was about mid-April to build start and should arrive early May. But the trick is to get your stuff ordered in enough time that it's here before the truck arrives. So you're trying to use the quote to completely upfit the new 2023 Chevy Tahoe. They include the light, the sirens, laptop mount, new radar system. So total, we're looking at $9,815.24. Now that is again a rough estimate. It could change with prices changing a little bit here and there. I don't expect a lot, but that's probably the ballpark we're looking at. Things definitely went up from last year.
So Bob, are you requesting that we approve this evening?
Yeah, when we can get this approved, to go ahead and get the order started, so we can get the equipment on the way, and it's ready to truck arrives.
I'll make a motion that we approve the Waymeyer estimate of $9,815.24 with the understanding that this is an estimate. The final amount is subject to change, but I do believe that we should move forward with equipping the new vehicle for the police department. Is there a second?
Can you get everything in?
Okay, so it's been moved and seconded, so it's open for any discussion, comments, concerns, any discussion regarding this item? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion approved. Thanks, Bob. Anything else? That's it, thank you. Jim?
Hey, real quick, just a couple things. I got the park scheduled for April the 8th for our annual Easter egg hunt, so we'll get that rolling, get some stuff ordered for it, and then we're going to get the Boy Scouts kind of grouped together this year, because it's getting nice out. We'll clean up the ditches and go through town like we did last year, so.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yep.
For the town manager. Al sent me an email back. I had requested him to look into the incident with Dale's phone, and he said that Teresa from HR has been in contact with you, and I haven't heard anything from you regarding that situation.
She called, or I reached out to her today. I think she's on vacation for 2 days, and I think she'll reply back to an email.
This has been going on since January. When did she finally reach out?
Yeah.
When, can Can you forward the email when she reached out to you?
I called her. I talked to her on the phone. She's going to be gone 2 days, and then when she gets back, she'll give you an email. So,
Steve?
The other thing I have really is that I think there's going to be quite a few projects going on around the town of New Palestine this spring and summer that is going to affect commuters. NDOT has a project that's running from Morristown all the way down to 465. They're moving east to west, so they're going to start with the bridge in Morristown. They're doing a roundabout at State Road 952. They're going to come through town and do 88 curb ramp updates. And then I think they are even going to put that bypass lane at 550. I've heard, maybe not on that, but, and then do a complete mill and repay of that. I haven't got to pin anybody down on timelines yet, so when I have the dates, I'll let you know. And Gary, I talked to him today, he's going to start a roundabout this spring or summer, he said, at 200 south and 600 west. So,
the bridge, the 400, is that going out?
I think that is this year, but again, when they get closer and utilities come in and do their stuff, I'll have a clear date on.
Thank you. Yvonne?
I have two things. I got an email from a Sean Hildebrand, PhD, associate professor and internship coordinator at Ball State. And he was interested in trying to place some students for internships for the summer. And that kind of sounded interesting. I think it would be kind of neat to have a young person here from either some government affairs, major or political science. And I asked him, I said, does this need to be paid? Because we don't have that budgeted. He says, well, not all the students, they don't all expect in local government that there's payment, because everybody has the same problem, right? You get approached for that and it's not in the budget. So he says they're not all paid. But I thought it would be interesting if that's okay with you guys to see if we can get an intern that doesn't require payment and that would like to come and spend 20 hours a week for 10 weeks or so with us here. That'd be for an undergrad. They require 200 hours. If it's a grad student, it requires 350 hours. I doubt that we can get a grad student to come here and work for nothing. But he suggested that most of those internships pay between $10 and $13 an hour. So maybe that's something, if it works out nice, that is something we might want to do for next summer and put it in the budget next year. Are you guys okay with that, for me pursuing that?
I would be.
I would be.
Sure, and if that helps the student get some experience
Yeah.
as well, then, absolutely.
Okay, very good, then I will get back in touch with him. Second cool thing, this week, Mr. Haggerty sat at my desk and brought us another check for the police department, another donation, $6,105.61, directly from his account to us. Of course, it just happened to be that Bob was coming in for something else around the same time that he came in. So we were able to thank him again profusely. And I have a form for you guys to approve the donation or to, accept the donation. So that'll be part of your packet of signatures. So,
And for the record, I think we should make a motion.
okay.
So I'll make a motion that we accept the donation from Mr. Haggerty as described.
Second that.
So it's open for discussion. Any comments other than to thank Mr. Haggerty again? His support is fantastic and we certainly appreciate it. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Yvonne. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I have. Thank you.
We'll move on to our next item on the agenda. It's public comments. This section is not restricted to anything on the agenda, but it is limited to 5 minutes. If anyone would, please stand up, give us your name and your address, and share with us anything you'd like.
My name is Chris Warnemont, Chief of Creek Estates. What I have here is a concern that I wanted to bring up, not just to the council, but also to the community, to be aware of this information I was been going to a little bit. I don't have I'm not asking for any type of action, but I just want to share some information that I think would be of interest to everyone concerned here. On my board here, and it's probably hard for some of you in the back to see this, but I was looking through the newspaper about a month ago. I think this is February 8th, so 3 weeks ago. And I noticed all the real estate transactions. And I noticed Lennar Homes selling to FKH SFR LLP or LLC. And I said, oh, that's odd. We approved 240 homes to be built up there, or whatever the number is, and a number of these are being sold to corporate landlords, as it looks like. And you hear a lot about this in the news. One of the reasons that the prices of housing has gone up so much is because of corporate landlords getting into this game. Now, because of interest rates going up, they're not in as much as they were. But this time last year, I know when I was looking at this and I was demonstrating against Willow Ridge, the rate of corporate landlords was in the mid-20s, I believe, % of homes bought, and traditionally it's been around 12%, so almost double. And that was one of the reasons, there are other factors involved, but one of the reasons we had such this huge run-up in the cost of housing. So getting back to this and what's going on here in our own backyard. So I looked up this company. Well, the first thing I did is I went on the GIS survey of Hancock County, and this is Lennar Homes. So,
Where is this?
Lennar Homes right up here on Jim Road. Okay. Okay.
Jim and...
You know where it is. It's just up on Jim Road. Copperstone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So this obviously is an old picture. They built most of the subdivision, except maybe the north end. Anybody that drives up Jim Road, you know, you've seen the progress and how quickly that they built this subdivision, which is another concern. But this particular picture is probably a year or so old. Well, what I found interesting is I went on every one of these locators that describes who the owner is of each of these lots. And this section right here, what they call Section 2, has 46 homes. Of those 46 homes, 26 of them are owned by corporate landlords, or owned by this corporate entity known as FKH. So what's clearly happening is that because, well, my hypothesis is because interest rates going up so much, they're not being able to sell these to the regular folks, which is what their intent was. And now they're, selling it to the corporate landlords, and now we got a lot of rental housing in the subdivision, which is not the original intent. So that's my concern. Now they're building the north end of this right now, and they're putting pedal to metal, but trying to get all that built before the market declines even more. So my concern is that they're going to a number of these are going to be also be owned by corporate landlords. So again, I don't have any. I'm not asking the council to bring action for the community. I just want everyone in the community to be aware of this issue and think if I felt the tenor of the group for the last year, I think we can all be in agreement here that this is concerning. So I have some ideas on what we can do about it. I've talked to Eric, who's also on the planning commission, about it last or 2 weeks ago. I know Angie, maybe I'll talk with you after the meeting, but I've got this packet of information, or these 3 slides, back here on the table. So if anybody wants one as you leave, feel free to grab one, talk to me, reach out to me, and start to brainstorm what we can do about this. I need to balance my time.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Real quick, Bill, did we address that with Willow Ridge on the rental? Did we not put in their ordinance that it was a 2-year homeowner occupancy, which a rental company wouldn't buy and sit for empty for? So we kind of curbed that off because we did see it coming. American Homes for Rent, they've been out here looking for, I mean, they do the whole neighborhoods like they're doing up in Fishers. We don't want it. You're right. We don't want the rentals. It's one thing if you have a whole neighborhood that's a rental. It's good probably up front because they're managed, correctly. But then when they start selling them all one by one like we have, then we get in trouble with it. So.
Well, yeah, this clearly is, when I came here 4 years ago to the planning commission, to the council, say, hey, we're going to build this great new neighborhood. And there wasn't a peep about, we're going to have, 30 or 40% of our homes on your rentals.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, like I said, we kind of, every subdivision that comes through, we address it that way.
I don't know, like you said, we've addressed once since I've been here, and I remember seeing this cover slides.
Because we don't want to get caught with this again. Yeah.
They're buying houses over in Stone Crossing as well. Stone Crossing, they're buying them up over there. It's First Key Homes.
all, okay.
That's an FKH. Yeah, we've dealt with them.
How many?
I think I've seen 4 maybe.
Okay.
So people that live there are selling off, and it's kind of a quick sale, making the good money to get out.
Yeah, that's not what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're selling, are selling directly. I mean, it's harder to, control that, but that's concerning too. I know some subdivisions have, rules against rentals. And I do want to acknowledge that Ron Wally and others were on this during Willow Ridge, and we get that in the bud. So I do appreciate that. I know, again, this is something I think the entire community can all agree on. This is a concern.
Sure. It's definitely a new concept. Anyone else?
Again, Mr. Wagner, 3846 South River Trail. So I'd like to address the whole main thing again, because in the minutes you just approved, you said that, or at least you told me that the name and the address is very important. So I looked at the minutes you just approved, and in the public comments it says, an attendee discussed, another attendee discussed, the attendee stated. So I would like to know, so I could FOIA request it, where are the names and the addresses that are so required of all these people? And what document is it in, what government document is it in, so it can be FOIA requested? Because it's obviously not in the minutes. If you don't know right now, you can get it to me later.
Thank you. Anyone else? We'll go to council comments. Angie, have anything that you'd like to add this evening?
No, I addressed what I needed to with Jim. I just wanted to make sure that Dale knew that I didn't let it go. I was still trying to find the answers.
Thanks. Chris, you have anything you'd like to add?
I'm good with that.
Just myself, I would reiterate, thank you to Mr. Haggerty for his donation to the police department, and also just briefly like to acknowledge that high school had 2 underclassmen wrestlers that made it to the state, placed in the state, and congratulations to both of them. It's great to see things like that happening in the community. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor of adjourning, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.